Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If there's one thing that the markets seem to really dislike, it is uncertainty. And this last couple of weeks have certainly presented a lot of challenges. This 5-day chart, as you are probably aware, has been all over the place. In the past month, well, we've seen some of the largest rises and falls in the history of the US markets. What we're looking at this week is perhaps a continuation of this trend. As when we talk about tariffs, we are seeing suggestions from Trump that the Chinese tariff exemption might be short-lived. It's really going to be interesting to see how this plays out, but Donald Trump suggests that the exemptions that he's put in place for smartphones and other products from China could be short-lived. Now do bear in mind that Beijing officials earlier called on Trump to completely cancel the import taxes, currently at 145%. The back and forth over tariffs last week caused major swings in global financial markets, but European markets rose in early trading on Monday, today. Elsewhere, China's Xi Jinping embarks on a tour of Southeast Asia. Meanwhile, Trump says he will provide an update today about his administration's approach to semiconductors and duties on them. Really quite a time, right? Really quite a time. We saw a little bit of a repeal, a reprieve in a way, where Trump was speaking about potentially putting an exemption on mobile phones and other key equipment. However, now we're seeing Trump essentially suggesting that no country is off the hook and hints at new tariffs on smartphones. So these exemptions, if short-lived, it begs the question, what is the plan here? Where is Trump going to go next? And this is where things get quite interesting. Because as I'm sure a lot of you know, the markets do not like this uncertainty. And when we look at the figures, when we look at the facts as to what needs to be done, a lot of people are doubting it. Now this comes at a time where the S&P recently has been at all-time highs. 5-year chart on this really highlights this, and so does the max chart as well. We are at massive highs. Now please do have a look at how much we are up since the 2008 crash, or even since a mini crash in 2020, right? We are seeing markets absolutely boom from December 22 up until now, nearly around 50% up, even accounting for this dip. So, even prior to Trump's policies, 90% almost of fund managers say that US stocks are overvalued. This was the most recorded since 2001. So the latest suggests that, about 89% of fund managers believe that the current levels in the stock markets are overvalued. This is the highest level of fund managers believing this since 2001. I mean, you can just see this, right? So we are seeing UK suspending some tariffs to ease business tension as trade deal could be days away. However, Trump also has a lot to do. He's looking at 90 days to potentially do up to 150 trade deals. Whether that's going to be doable is very difficult, right? It's going to be a difficult thing to do nonetheless, and perhaps you could make the argument that this is his, art of the deal strategy, as he calls it, but the reality is, it's not something that the markets really are appreciating. And at the minute, it's really a difficult time to say which way we're going in terms of investors, right? It's actually quite impossible. It seems to be that what Trump says carries a lot of weight for obvious reasons, and right now, the guy is saying a lot. He's got a lot of opinions on stuff. He's doing a lot of really quite incredible things. Again, right or wrong. The UN is calling on Trump to exempt the poorest countries from reciprocal tariffs, but whether this actually comes into effect, we will see. Again, he's got a lot of work to do here. It's going to be interesting to see if he can really pull this one off without essentially collapsing the markets. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope I'll see you soon. Goodbye.